morning. Hope you're all going well. We've run into another week, start of a new week. Pretty quiet. It was a pretty busy weekend, but pretty quiet on the farm. Just finished up with a bit of local sport. And the girls played their last game of netball for the year, and then we had a bit of a vote count local at the club that we support, just a sort of vote count and a bit of barbecue lunch. So that was about the weekend. This morning we've just started mucking around doing a bit of maintenance. I've just started changing a few oils in the header. Brendan's just chasing up a bit of straw for the running a bit of straw around the place for the sheep. Tony's actually servicing the telehandler so far this morning. I've just come out the back. I'll show you the little gizmo I've come out to get. We've just got a little trailer that we made up for rolling out fencing wire for the just this new bit of fence we're putting up. We just needed it, and just while I'm out the back here, I just thought I would have a quick look at some of the crops and see how they're going. So this is the barley. I've already had a look at the wheat. I've actually pulled a plant out there, so I might cut one open and I'll just show you that the head is starting to develop in the wheat. The wheat's up about knee high. This barley's about the same. It's getting up about knee high. Pretty good for disease. The fungicide that we've put on it's been good. And I might pull a few plants out and take them back home, and I'll cut them open and just show you what's going on. But when you feel down, if I can get the leaves out of the road, you can actually feel the head starting to develop in the stalk. So we're slowly getting to the business end of the year. What are we? Middle of August. 21st August. So we're starting to get the back end of August. So the days are getting longer and warmer. They've got sort of 21 or 2 degrees forecast for this coming weekend. So spring's rapidly approaching. But we're in a actually probably should have wore some gumboots out here because the ground is I'm sort of wet to the knee now. But anyway, that's all right. But still plenty of moisture with those showers of rain we're getting. They actually got another 5 mil of rain forecast for tomorrow. So which will be good. But it's all ticking along pretty well at the moment. So crops are looking fantastic. Alright, hopefully you can hear me alright. What I've done is I've just split the stem with my pocket knife, and if hopefully I can get him to come out without, I've pulled it in half. But that's essentially the start of the head growing. It's only little, but that's in there. So that'll end up, that's not very big at the moment when I use my hand as comparison, but it'll end up twice as long as my hand, as wide as my hand, and then plenty of grain on it. So that's the start of the reproduction process has already started essentially. So there it is there. Got a bit of wheat here that plants I plucked. So what I'm seeing is, and I don't actually know what it is. I've sent a few photos to the agros. You can see it there in the camera. We've got a bit of yellowing, sort of patchy on the leaves, some sort of disease. Now it has had a fungicide on it, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but I'll just pause the camera and I'll split that stem open, or if I can get it to. It's a bit hard with this camera, but anyway, we'll see how we go here. I'll try not to stab myself in the hand with the knife either, because my knife's not all that sharp. Give us a go here. So again, you can see that there. Oh, go away, get out. Just get that. Split that up there. And again, if we can get him out without damaging it. hopefully. Alright, again, so there's the head. So again, that's where that's the money end of the job. So hopefully we'll get what we'll say 4 or 5 grains wide, depending on the rain, or it may only just if it sort of stops raining, it might only produce 1 or 2 grains wide. But anyway, we'll have a look at it going forward, and I'll keep showing you as it develops. But getting to the point of year, once that head comes out, so another in the wheat, well, another maybe fortnight, 2 weeks maybe, that head will start and poke out up the top of the plant here, and then that's when it starts to get pretty critical, where we don't want any more frosts. So while the plant is in that stalk, it's sort of while the head's in the stalk, it's still protected pretty well. We have had years where we've actually had quite a severe frost, and it's frosted the stem, and then the stem essentially shuts down and dies. So they're sort of more drought year type thing, but because we've got plenty of moisture and a good canopy, that's same again. That is on the ground, that's nearly knee high again, but yeah, plenty of moisture, good root mass down the bottom. But once that head gets out, or what we call when the head's out near, he's out of his stalk and open to the elements, that's when we don't want to frost, because the frost will actually sterilise that head, and we don't end up with any grain. So that's worst case scenario. So anyway, at the moment it's all ticking along really, really well. Good morning again. So we've rolled into the next day after yesterday. Bit of rain about. We've had a few showers this morning, and looking at the radar, there is a bit coming. It's sort of dark out there. You can sort of see it on the camera. A few thunderstorms around actually, it feels, there's a bit of humid, and the wind's sort of got that funny feel about it. But probably it does actually definitely feel like spring has sprung. So anyway. So I've had another play around with the microphone on the settings on this camera again this morning. So hopefully I'm still getting a bit of feedback that you can't hear me. So hopefully I've actually cranked it right up. So with a bit of luck now, we might have solved that issue. So still working through it, so you've just got to be patient. But what we're up to is we started servicing the header. Now we're basically just going to change all the oils and filters and that sort of stuff. If those of you who've been watching from the get-go, you would have known, but we did a bearing in the main transmission last year. I'm just change. We did do an oil change mid-season last year, so I'm just doing another oil change now. The oil does look not too bad, but just to make sure there's no bits and pieces floating around, and then also we're doing the final drives. So we've got a bit of a PVC pipe there with a fancy end cut on it, just to get that in there. So it runs a heavy gear oil, an 80W90 gear oil. We're starting to get a bit of oil back in them, and we've got the engine oil draining out. Hello, little dog. I'll just show you here. So the engineers and the clever buggers, what they've basically got is up under the engine, under the sump, just got a tap, and then they run a hose down to ground level. So you can just put a bucket underneath it, and you can catch the oil rather than trying to catch the oil up in the engine bay up there. So we've got these filters to change, fuel filters, engine oil filters. There's 3 hydraulic filters here to do. And then we've got new chains to go on it. So I've got 4 boxes of new chain. There's the oil. As far as filters, now in these 3 boxes here, there's about $2,100, believe it or not. So Yeah, it's not an expensive exercise, but yeah, it's a pretty big, expensive bit of equipment too. So I just like to change all the oils and filters every year on our big machines like this. Yeah, like we'll do about 300. It'll do about 300 engine hours for the year. It might do a bit more depending on how much contracting and that sort of stuff it's done. But given the machine's sort of only 12 months new to us, and I'm sort of not 100% sure what the history is. Yeah, we'll just, it's cheap, oil, and the old saying, oil and filters are cheap really, so yeah, so, but you don't get a lot for your money. So yeah, so that'll be, plus oil, I think, it'll be a $2,500 to $3,000 to do a just a standard engine oil, filters, yeah, gearbox oils, that sort of stuff, service. So anyway, it is what it is. Now still waiting on, I've got all the filters organised for the windrower, which we'll do the same thing with it, and yeah, then it'll be right. It doesn't need a hell of a lot on it. We've got a mechanic coming to do a couple of jobs on it. Yeah, the switch in the air on the air seat's gone, so there's actually no, you hop in it, you're sitting on the floor, there's no air in to pump the seat up, so that's one thing. Yeah, so it's yeah, a bit going on. Alright, so we're just here, it's trying to rain, or it has been raining, and there's a few showers coming through. Just show you here, just pumping this oil back in, and basically we've just got a little sight glass there, and we just yeah, pump it in the top until the sight glass is covered, and it's happy days. So I think I said earlier it's 80W90 oil. We generally run Castrol oil, which is, I don't know, it's Australian oil, but it's what we sort of use in most things. But I'll just show you why we changed the oils. These are out of the two planetaries, so that one, he looks alright, it's pretty thick. It's, yeah, anyway, but this one, that's got water in it, so that's just why we, it's purely a maintenance thing. But for some reason, you can clearly see the two different colours. For whatever reason, that one's got some water in it, so I'll just have to keep an eye on it this year, whether there's a plug leaking or, yeah, I'm not 100% sure why, but yeah, it's yeah, but anyway, that's the reason why we do sort of change these, just to keep that oil nice and clean. And as I said earlier, oil is cheap as opposed to componentry like gearboxes and final drives. Alright, we've moved into another day from when I was working on the header yesterday, changing the oils. We had a load of urea finally turn up. It turned up yesterday afternoon. We ended up with about 12 mil of rain yesterday, and yeah, which is perfect. Like, we're getting into the point where the days are a bit longer, starting to warm up. They've got 21 or 2 degrees forecast for the weekend, which is only a few days away. And yeah, so the crops are really starting to grow. We've nearly got all our in-crop spraying and spreading done. We'll be able to finish off here at home now with the spreading and just the grazing wheat and that hasn't been done. And I'm hoping, I was talking to the guys this morning from Dickens Ag, and I'm hoping we might have the boom spray back late in the week or early next week, which will be perfect really. I've actually been away today. I just had a procedure done in hospital, so I had general anaesthetic, so I'm still a bit doughy from the anaesthetic. But yeah, Tony and Brendan, they finished off the mother bin. So yeah, so it's all back together. They put a new chain on. We've redone all the bearings from front to back right through it, which is good. There were a couple in the middle there. It's got I'm not sure whether I explained it or not, it's got 4 or 5 carrier bearings that carry that sweep auger that runs to the back of the bin. There was at least one of them was a bit dodgy, and the one at the very back was darn buggered. You can see there, it's probably a bit hard to see, but that's the patch I've welded on. And I had a pressure pack there of black paint, so I just gave it a squirt with some black paint. But yeah, we can tick this one off. I think Tony just knows that he was going to grease the kingpins and the steering. These front 3 axles actually steer. Just makes it a bit easier to get the bin around, so he was going to give them a grease and grease the wheel bearings and that sort of stuff. So yeah, but the day's about done. So yeah, we'll just see whether the guys will get back into the spreading tomorrow. Yeah, we'll probably, given we've got some grazing crops here that haven't had any urea at all, so we'll probably put 150 kilos across that stuff now, and then the paddock here in front of my house, it'll get 150, and it'll have had 250 then, and then there's 25 hectares of grazing wheat out the back now. It has had 100 kilos, but we'll give it another 150. So yeah, so anyway, I'll be a bit steady for a day or two with what I've had done. We've actually got a rice field day, rice extension field day on in a couple of days in the morning, so we're going to go up and we'll jump the ute and go up and have a look at that. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, if we keep getting these bits of rain, it's where and as I've said earlier on, fingers crossed no frosts. Yeah, it's going to be another good year. So we're just we're going to shuffle a few lambs and that round. I might even do that tomorrow. I can do that just sitting in the ute, just so we can get sheep home for shearing. So at this stage we're shearing next week now. We've actually, our shearing contractor that we were using, he's finished up, and whether he sold his business or he's run to another contractor, so that contractor has been in touch. So yeah, they're talking 2.5 days to do 1,500 ewes. So that'll well, it's good from our point of view because it doesn't, consume a whole week, but the other thing is it's going to put the pressure on the job, keeping sheep up to them and that sort of stuff. They'll really need the 3 of us probably on deck, especially when we're going to be backlining and giving the ewes a vaccination and that as well. So, but anyway, it's that's going to be next week. They wanted to come tomorrow on Wednesday, but with me having to go to hospital today, I just said it's not going to happen. So anyway, so we've got to get the shed cleaned out, and it's pretty good. But yeah, main thing is we've got to bring these 1,200 ewes to bring home from the other farm, so that's why I'm going to shuffle a few ewes, put the lambs at the back on that vetch that you would have been seeing throughout the year, and then we can bring all the ewes past, and yeah, we'll get them home here for shearing. So anyway, thanks again. We'll catch you on the next one. Ta-da.